Let's jump in. Hey, welcome back to another episode of Road Noise. Dad and I are just hopping on this call because we need to get a couple of these conversations in the can as we got some schedules to work out. But I'm looking forward to seeing where we're going tonight, Dad.
Well, it's on this one, it's not where we're going, and it's where we're coming from. We're coming back from doing a meeting. And I was all by myself. For many years, as we've talked, we used a bus to haul all the people and all the equipment to get to the churches and places that we needed to be. And when we were traveling as a family and so forth, that was a very nice way to travel. It met our needs. But as I started doing meetings by myself under Just Kidding name instead of the Puppet Prospectors, we kind of switched away from the bus and started using a van, more specifically, minivans. And they're a lot easier to get around in. And another advantage is if you need somebody to work on it while you're out on the road, it's a lot easier to find somebody to work on a minivan than it is a bus. And on this particular occasion, I thought I was going to be looking for somebody to work on this minivan because of what happened. Like I said, I was coming back from doing a meeting and I was on a two-lane road kind of out in the country. And I found myself following behind a pickup truck that was loaded down with lawn maintenance equipment. And I was following back what I thought was a safe distance. And I really didn't see any need to pass him because he was doing the speed limit. He was going as fast as I wanted to go on this two-lane country road. And so I just stayed behind him. Things were going well for many miles, actually, until all of a sudden, and I don't remember that we hit a bump. I don't remember that we hit a, a hole in the road or anything else. But all of a sudden, a long-handled shovel came flying out of that pickup, headed right at me. Well, I'm back far enough that I watched this thing do a perfect flip. First of all, it came down and the point of the shovel hit the road in front of me. It bounced, went up in the air, a perfect 180 or 360 again, came down, landed on the point a second time, bounces up in the air. It's working on doing another flip, but by this time I'd closed the distance and I'm really close to it. And so this time, as it's making its flip, the handle was pointing right at me, but it was down low. And so the handle actually went underneath the front end of the van, which caused the shovel end of the shovel to slam right down into the pavement as I went over top of it. I wish I could describe the sound that that thing made. As it's underneath the van, I'm going down the road trying to stop, and it's plowing a trench in the blacktop. Anyway, so I come to a stop, and I wasn't stopped very long because the guy in the truck, he must have seen the shovel flying out of the truck in his rearview mirror or something, because he stopped about the same distance away that I had been following. He jumps out of his truck, comes running back, wanting to know, are you okay? Are you okay? And I'm getting out of the van. I say, yeah, I'm fine. I'm not sure what happened to your shovel. And so we started looking for the shovel, and you didn't have to look very far or very long because this shovel was wedged underneath this minivan between the front axle and the hole in the pavement. Okay. So as we're looking at this, we're kind of thinking, that's probably a good place for it. Because had the head of that shovel made it underneath that axle and me going over top of it, there's a real good possibility that that shovel would have sliced a hole, a slit right through the gas tank. And I can't imagine what kind of problems that could have caused. but it didn't. It was right there at the front of the van, but it's stuck. He gets down on the road there and crawls underneath there, and he's wiggling and yanking. He can't get the thing loose. I mean, it is wedged very well. And so we come up with a plan. He's going to continue to lay on the road, and I'm going to get in and I'm going to slowly try to back up and see what happens. And if it looks like maybe the shovel's going to slice the engine or the radiator or something vital, his job is to yell stop. And so I get in, I start backing up, I've got the windows down, I'm just waiting to hear him say stop. But he didn't. And I slowly backed up. And next thing I know, he jumps up off the ground. He's got the shovel in his hand and he says, I got it. And he turns around and runs back to his truck. Well, I continued to follow him for several more miles, just in case anything else came flying out of that truck. And I did stay back far enough this time. I'm thinking, if anything else does fly out, I want to have enough distance that it's going to come to a stop before I ever get to it, and hopefully I'll be able to swerve and get around it. But fortunately, nothing ever did come out, and I made it back safe. Good news is there wasn't any real damage done to the van. I didn't have to have any work done on it, and so everything was fine. Can you dig it?
Can you dig it? Yeah. Yeah. There's this reminds me of we've had a few stories where there's been some of these road adventures and with thinking of like some deer and some slick patches and all that. There's with as many miles as you've put on over the years, it's no wonder that you've got a few of these that are uh, definitely unusual.
If you drive enough miles, you will have stories. There's no doubt about it. And yeah, we put on a few miles over the years, and there's been a lot of. I tell you, things like this really gets you your attention and gets you excited and gets the adrenaline flowing, and you don't have any problem staying awake as you drive for the
Yeah.
next few hours.
Yep. Yep.
But as I thought about that story, I also thought about 1 Corinthians 4:17, which talks about when we will take flight, and not just a shovel, but when we as people, you know, when we who are alive and are left are caught up together with them in the clouds to meet the Lord in the air. Well, like I said, there was flying shovels that day, but there's the day coming when all of us are going to fly, and we're not going to get wedged underneath anything that's going to hold us back.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to that day.
But with that in mind, if we're ready to close this one out, I do have a couple of questions for you.
Okay.
You ready
See
for
what we
this?
got. Yep.
Yeah, I like this one. Do you know what you get when you cross a chili pepper, a shovel, and a Labrador?
No idea.
A hot diggity dog.
Yep.
I thought
Yeah.
that one was worthy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Of all the modern tools used for construction, I think the shovel is the most groundbreaking.
Hmm. Yeah, it probably is.
Yeah. Or what do you call a man when he is finished digging with a shovel?
Mm, don't know.
Doug.
Yep.
All right,
Yeah.
that's all I've got for you.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, let's park it here and we'll pick it up again next week.